Welcome to Algebra 2, Unit 7, Lesson 2, Practice Problems. We're going to start with the 3 vocabulary terms for this lesson. The first is experimental study. An experimental study collects data by directly influencing something to determine how another thing is changed. The key here is directly influencing. Number 2, observational study. An observational study collects data without influencing the subjects directly. So the key here is without influencing. And number 3 is survey. A survey is a set of questions given to people to seek their responses. So the key here is that a survey is a set of questions. We need to keep these 3 definitions in mind as we work through the practice problems today. So the first question asks, what type of study would you conduct if you wanted to know how many hours a week on average students at your school spend on homework? Explain your reasoning. So if you are trying to study how many hours a week on average students spend on homework, this is not something that you could observe. You are not following every student all the time. So this could not be observational or experimental. You couldn't follow all the students so you'd have to rely on survey responses. So you would have to create a questionnaire, give it to students, and rely on them to truthfully answer the questions. If you have any question about how I arrived at that answer, please use class time to ask for further clarification before moving on so that you can be prepared. Select all designs which describe an observational study that is not a survey. Choice A. 200 voters are randomly selected and asked how they will vote in the upcoming election. This is incorrect because this is a survey. Choice B. 60 pieces of lumber are randomly selected. Half of those are randomly assigned to be treated with a new sealer. 3 months later, the level of rotting in all the pieces is recorded. This is wrong because this is an experimental study. Choice C. 100 pregnant women are randomly selected. For 8 weeks, the level of iron in their blood and their vital signs are recorded. This is correct. This is an observational study. Nothing is being influenced. These women are simply having their vital signs and their iron levels monitored, but there is no experimenting happening. So C is correct. Choice D. 400 incoming 6th grade students are randomly selected. Researchers record their results on a reading test at the beginning and end of the year and compare the level of improvement seen in students at elementary schools to students at middle schools. This is also correct. It does not say that they are influencing these students at all. They are simply recording the results of their tests. And choice E, 300 people apply to test a new mattress. 100 of these customers are selected randomly to receive the new mattress, and the others are given an older version. After 6 months, they are asked to rate their satisfaction with the mattress. This is wrong because this is an experimental study. These customers are being influenced because half of them are being given one mattress, the other half are being given a different mattress, and then the results are being taken 6 months later. That is an experimental study. If you have any questions about how to tell the difference between surveys, observational studies, and experimental studies, please ask for clarification now so you can be better prepared moving forward. In an observational study, it was noticed that people that eat more chocolate tend to have better blood flow than the general population. Researchers wonder whether the improved blood flow might be caused by flavonoids, a molecule found in many foods. Dark chocolate contains a high concentration of flavonols, but milk chocolate contains a much lower concentration. How could the researchers design an experiment to determine the effects of flavanol on blood flow from the different types of chocolate? You need to control as many variables as possible. So, number one, select similar participants and assign them to groups randomly. Number 2, have a group for dark chocolate, milk chocolate, and no chocolate. This way, the no chocolate group is a control group. And number 3, document the results of blood flow tests you also don't let participants know if they got dark or milk chocolate. They might be able to tell from the taste if they know the difference, but you don't want to outright tell them one way or another because that might also affect the results. So you want to check everything that you can. You want the groups to be random so that you can't unknowingly load the groups one way or another. You don't want anything else to affect it. You want the participants to be as similar as possible. So if you can get them the same age, the same gender, the same weight, height, as similar as you could possibly make them, document the results, and if possible, don't explicitly tell them what they are receiving. Then you can compare the dark chocolate results to the milk chocolate results to the results of people that didn't have either one and see what kind of differences, if any, resulted from your study. If you have any questions about anything I've covered on these Lesson 2 practice problems, please use class time to ask for further clarification so that you can be prepared moving forward.